And welcome back, listeners. Well, one of the most eagerly anticipated live albums of this year is this brand new reworking of Passage by a band that I know a lot of you out there love, Samael. So we thought tonight we would actually get one of the members of the band on the phone to chat a little bit about this amazing live album that I've had the chance to sit down and listen to. So welcome to the program, Vorf.
Hey Dan, nice to be here.
So, mate, tell us a little bit about why you guys decided to do a live album with Passage, because it's a brilliant album, and this live album has turned out exceptionally well. But where did that idea first come about to actually record this as a live album?
Well, the first thing we wanted to do like a 25th anniversary tour for Passage in 2021. But then COVID happened, and as for everybody else, I mean, we had to cancel everything. So in 2022, when we knew it will be possible to do it, we thought we will record every show, and we had this in mind to kind of leave a trace of that even. And the original idea was to pick up the best song from every show and kind of have a mishmash of all this and do the live album like this, But then we listened to the whole thing, and we thought it would be better to have just one show, so the flow it's more accurate. It feels more like it is a real concert. And we decided to pick up the last one because we were warmed up. We were playing this for 18 days on a row. So yeah, and Poland, always been very supportive for us. So it was a nice environment. So yeah, I like the way it turned out. Definitely.
What was it like going back and revisiting these tracks after 25 years? Because, like I said, it's an amazing album in itself. What was it like for you guys going back and revisiting these tracks and playing the album in whole, in its entirety, 25 years later?
That's cool. Actually, it's really the sort of time capsule that you got, and it works when you listen to music, but when you play it, it's even more accurate to say that you really travel back in time. We did this already for Ceremony of Opposite like a few years ago, and we didn't record anything, but we did like 40 festival around in Europe and in America, and this time we wanted to do a tour like more club thing. And yeah, I mean, some of the song we actually still played, so it was nothing new about that. But some of the song we haven't played for a long time. Born Under Saturn was a song we never played live before, so it was like a new thing. But all in all, it really got us a good feeling, like the song that the still relevant today. I feel, I can connect to the song still, so that's a good thing.
I was going to ask that. I know a lot of bands who have done anniversary shows over the last few years have mentioned that there are some songs on these albums that they've never played live. You said there was a song on this album that you'd never played live before. What was that like, approaching a track like that that's 25 years old that you had never played live before?
Well, it's not exactly correct what I say, because we never played live until 2013, because we already did the whole album one time, well, actually two times, one in Switzerland, one in Germany. So yeah, I mean, we never played, with this lineup, because we had a lineup change just 2020, and so the two guys, they knew the album back in the days. Both of them were playing with the band Cybrid. You might have heard of them.
Yep.
And well, when they split up, I mean, actually first dropped the guitar player joined us as a bass player, because we were in need for a bass player. And when our guitar player left, he took up the guitar role, and Alex came to play the bass with us. So for them, it was kind of a weird thing to play an album that they were listening to when they were younger. And for us, we kind of try to connect to that energy, because it's very it was fresher for them than it was for us, and all in all, the synergy worked, and yeah, the energy was there.
Yeah, that energy really gets captured on this album as well. Was that something that you were hoping for? Because I know before I've listened to some live albums from some bands, and you think, well, it just sounds like what you guys did in the studio. But with this album, you can pick that live energy, and there's something different about these tracks as well with the way that you guys approach them. Was that something that you were aware of when you were playing these shows?
I'm glad you see it that way because I'm really happy the way it turned out. Actually, we were recording every track separate, so then the mix will not be exactly the mix that was on the show, but that show is actually on YouTube, so people can check it out. I mean, this is exactly what happened that night. But I mean, I'm happy the way it turned out. We had many options because we record every shows and. I mean, it could have been another one, but this one was kind of special because it was the last one, because it was Poland, because, we were ready for it.
Yeah. The tracks when you listen to this album, they sound heavier in a sense. Did you guys go out there and play heavier, or did that just happen with the energy that was happening around these shows?
Yeah, I've noticed that too. But as I mentioned before, we've been doing this ceremony of opposite thing like 5 years ago or something, and that album was tuned C sharp, so half a tone down from the what we were recording after that, and when we play live, we kept that tuning for all the other shows. So Passage is actually half a tone down from the original recording, and it's not much, but I agree with you. I feel it sounds heavier. So yeah, it's a little detail, but that kind of give a more massive sound to the whole thing, I believe. Yeah,
definitely. Going back 25, 30 years ago, did you ever guess that 25, 30 years later, there would be fans all around the world in love with these the albums and in love with your music, and that you would be still touring and still playing? Was that something that you'd thought about back then?
You don't really project yourself that far, it's not day by day really, but you got to plan for the like for even today, we kind of know what we're gonna do this year, but we have absolutely no clue what will come next. So and so yeah, it's really like thing happen as you move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, I don't project myself 20 years from now. I mean, I don't even know if I will still be there. But yeah, I mean, so far, we're all in good shape. We all healthy, and we can do it. And there are still people who want to hear it. So that's great. That's a great moment in our life. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to when you first worked on Passage, that was the album that kind of really changed your sound. It was the album that kind of captured your new sound. I was wondering if you could talk us through that a little bit, about what it was like for the band at the time when you were working on Passage, and what you guys were talking about when you first went into this album 25 years ago.
Well, we already had the chance on the previous album because, the two first, I was actually more or less doing all the music and the lyrics. And with Ceremony of Opposites, he started to do the music, and he been he have learned piano when he was a kid. He stopped it, and then he came back to it when he was like 15 or something. And so there were a lot more keyboards. I mean, we had some keyboard in intro or outro before, but not really in the song. So that was the first major change, I would say. And then with Passage, the keyboard player we hired actually left the band, and we didn't know anybody who could do it around here. So Xi decided he will do it himself, but he didn't want to let anyone else in charge of the drum duty. So that's how we came with this idea of having a drum machine and program everything. And that was a big shift, also in the way you approach music. So because some of the rhythm he will find with a drum, but then he will program it, and then it's really like the frame is really rigid, especially when you play live. There is no longer a way that somebody can catch you up if you do a mistake or something. I mean, you had to be really square and really tight. And yeah, that was a different. I mean, I've learned to find my way through it through the years, but at the beginning it was kind of a little bit like living in a dictator. You know, you feel like, wow, this is very much this is merciless.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a choice. So,
what was that like for you when you first started to go back over this album? Like, did that feel like a little bit of a personal journey for you as well, going back and looking at these tracks before this tour?
Yeah, well, you know, I was in a strange mindset at the time, a bit lost. You know, I knew I wanted to do something else, but I didn't know what, so it was a bit chaotic. And you can feel, I mean, in the lyrics, I mean, there is always a sort of undertone of sort of a quest, and it was really what I was going through at the time. And music-wise, I mean, that was the first time actually Valdemar, our producer, came to Switzerland before we went to the studio, because usually you don't have much time in the studio, so there is nothing you can really change. I mean, you're just gonna record what you worked on. So that was good. That, you know, he could actually discuss the song with Xi. I mean, they changed a little bit the structure here and there, and he gave some guideline for the programming. And so when we went in the studio, actually, we didn't spend that much time. I believe it was maybe 2.5 weeks or something. But we also recorded a mini album during the same session. So with the mix and everything, so, you know, it was pretty quick.
Definitely. Now, of course, a lot of your fans here in Australia are probably going to ask the question as well. What have you got in store for us for the rest of this year? It's been a little while since your last album. Are you working on new material? Are you touring this year? What's your plans for 2024?
I mean, immediately, I mean, we got this live album going. It's going to be released next week or something. We go straight to Poland, back to Poland for show around that album again, and then we go to Japan for a couple of shows. We got a few festivals, but all the rest we will use for the working on a new album. I mean, we're pretty much far into it. I mean, we already record some stuff. We were listening to what we got yesterday, you know, with the other guys. And yeah, I mean, we're pretty excited about what we have in store. So, you know, I hope if everything goes fine, at least we're gonna have maybe a first single out this year. But the whole album, probably gonna be released on 2025.
That'll be amazing. And I guess the big question your Aussie fans are wondering: is there any chance we might see you in Australia at some stage?
Man, we would love to do that. I mean, it's been so long since. I mean, we had some offers, but they never really were workable, because you know, it is far.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a long flight, and you know, you will have to cut your crew a little bit. That we could do, but then, you know, you still have to see if it's manageable. And so far, nothing came that was actually workable. But we are looking forward to come to Australia. As I mentioned, you know, the two other guys, when they were playing in Cybrid, actually they toured Australia, so they spoke about it. You know, they had an amazing time there. So yeah, I mean, we would love to do that. I mean, if it could happen this year, that would be fantastic. But, you know, who knows?
That would be great. Well, to finish off the interview, what would you like to say to people out there who are about to sit down and listen to Passage live on February the 16th?
Well, I hope they kind of got the flavor of what it was to experience that album live. I mean, you know, it has matured throughout the years, but I think the song, they're pretty much what they were on the album. Beside maybe you know, a little bit of tempo changes, some they're a tiny bit faster, some part they're a little bit slower because we wanted to have it heavier. But all in all, I don't really think you notice that. I mean, you might feel it, but it's not a big stretch from the original album. So, you know, basically our idea were more for the people who already know the album that we did that, but maybe some people will discover the album with the live version, and why not? I think it is totally Eastern by itself,